Hello everyone. Firstly, apologies about last week. The cover took me a few while to get used to the system, so hopefully we'll be back and up and running now. I know a lot of you 2 weeks ago missed the lesson anyway because you were on Duke of Edinburgh. If that was the case and you weren't in the lesson where you were kind of making models, what I need you to do is make sure that you know what a bacteria, a virus, and a fungus is. Okay. If you were in the lesson, you should have researched what their structure was and things like that, so hopefully that was sorted. Now, you need to know that we've been talking a lot about diseases. Now, this directly comes up in the Year 10 course about Christmas time next year, so actually, you literally, if you nail this now, you'll find next year really, really easy when it comes to disease. So we're talking about, how the body defends itself so far. We've talked about how you can catch a disease, but actually you need to think about what they are. So the word pathogen means a microorganism that causes disease, and there's 3 different categories we split them into. 1, bacteria pathogens, 2, viral pathogens, and 3, fungal pathogens. So to give you an example of some different diseases, Salmonella, which is food poisoning, is a bacterial pathogen. Coronavirus is a viral pathogen, and athlete's foot is a fungal pathogen. Now today we're going to talk about vaccines, where vaccines first came from, how they're made, how they work, and what the problems are. Now a vaccine only fights against, or prevents I should say, viral pathogens. So the story starts with someone called Edward Jenner. Now Edward Jenner in the 20th century was a doctor. He was very, very upper class, and around the same time there was a disease called smallpox, which is nearly eradicated. Now eradicated basically means that it doesn't exist anymore. There's no cases of it in the world. We realistically get about 1 to 2 cases of smallpox every year or so, but that's worldwide. Okay, now at this time smallpox was very, very deadly. Like the coronavirus, it was highly contagious, but the difference was 1 in 3 people that caught it would then die. So if you think the coronavirus death rate is about 0.5 to 1%, this would have like a 34% chance of killing you. And that wasn't necessarily just for people that were old or weak, it was anyone. Okay, so very, very deadly disease. Now, it started with Edward Jenner making just a simple observation that people that were milkmaids, so they milked cows, they never ever caught smallpox. But what he did notice they caught was something called cowpox. So here's a picture of smallpox, here's a picture of cowpox. And when they got cowpox, they, were a little bit poorly, but never as severe as smallpox. And then they'd get over it and be fine. So as you can see the similarities, the word pox in disease, it relates to an abrasion on the skin, so whether it's warty, things like that, you can see that in those pictures. If you think about a chicken's pox, that's lots of spots. Okay, so that's where it comes from. So Edward Jenner theorized that if you caught cowpox, you couldn't catch smallpox. Kind of like cowpox was a weaker version of the smallpox, and it somehow made you immune. So he decided to test this theory, and he picked an 8-year-old boy, and it's unclear exactly who this boy was, but we think it was either his maid's or his gardener's son. And now because he had the class system, he basically told them, let me use your child for this, or you're getting sacked and you're never going to work again and your family are going to starve and die. So he took this 8-year-old boy and he took some pus from one of these lovely warts from someone with cowpox, and he injected that pus into the boy. Now, no surprise, the boy came down with the disease cowpox and was quite poorly. However, he recovered and got over it. A few days later, he then did the same thing, but took a pus from someone suffering from smallpox, the deadly disease. So he took pus from one of these spots and injected it into the small boy. The small boy never gets smallpox. And the thought is that the cowpox is a very, very similar disease to smallpox. They're closely related, kind of like the MERS and SARS viruses that you might have heard about on the news recently. They all come from the coronavirus family. So similar kind of thing. Smallpox and cowpox are really closely related, and the thought is that if your immune system could fight off the cowpox, it would kind of help you fight off the smallpox. So first thing you want to do, and it's up to you whether you do this at the end or you pause it now, but I have sent you some phrases basically about that story, and what I want you to do is to put them in the right order. Now it's completely up to you how you do that. You can print it off and cut them out and stick them in. You can just write them out in the right order. You can type them out, I don't mind, but it needs to go into your books. So either do that now and pause this, or come back to it in a minute. It's up to you.